Hello students, welcome to the next unit, process controllers. So this unit is having 10 marks and the unit outcomes of process controllers are: explain with sketch the given process control system, then describe with sketch the given control action, compare different electronic controllers on the basis of the given parameters, sketch the response of the given controller with respect to the error. Then contents of this unit are: process control system. It includes block diagram and functions of each block. Then control actions such as continuous mode and discontinuous mode. In discontinuous mode, on-off controllers, its equation and neutral zone. In continuous mode, proportional controller, its offset proportional band. Then proportional, integral and derivative controllers, their output equation, response and characteristics. Then we will see the composite controllers such as PI, that is proportional integral, PD, that is proportional derivative, PID, that is proportional integral derivative controllers, their output equation and response. So in this video lecture we are going to see the block diagram of process control system, then classification of various control actions and the working of on-off controller. First is process or plant. A process consists of a set of equipment connecting or operating together, that is called as process. It is also known as plant. A process may be a single variable or multivariable process control. Then second is sensor, or it is also called as measuring element. This sensor is the device that converts output variable into another suitable variable. The sensor is connected in the feedback path of the control system. Next is error detector. You can see by the circle along with the cross sign. So it is the error detector. The error detector is summing or subtracting point whose output is an error signal, and the equation for the error signal is given by E of t is equal to R of t plus minus B of t. So you can see in the diagram the inputs to the error detector are R of t, okay, and second is B of t. B of t is feedback signal, R of t is the input signal, okay. So these are the two inputs to the error detector and its output is the error signal E of t, and it is given by E of t is equal to R of t plus minus B of t. Error detector is used to compare the sensor output and reference input with reference input is also called as set point. Then next is amplifier. The amplifier amplifies the signal, okay, and since the error is having less magnitude, it is amplified by the amplifier and it is given to the actuator, which actuator gives the signal necessary to drive the process or plant. Next point is classification of control actions. So broadly there are two types of control actions. First is discontinuous control action and second is continuous control action. So in the discontinuous control action we are going to study the on-off controller. So on-off controller can be two position controller or multi-position controller or floating mode controller. So these are the three types of on-off controller, that is the discontinuous type of controller, okay. The first on-off controller is two position controller, then multi-position controller and floating mode controller. The continuous control actions are having three actions. The first is P, that is proportional control action. Second is I, that is integral control action. Third is D, that is derivative control action. Again, in the continuous mode, there are composite controllers. So the composite controllers are the combination of two or more type of control actions, two or more type of continuous control actions. So first composite controller is PI. It is combination of proportional and integral. Second is PD. It is the combination of proportional and derivative. Third is PID. It is the combination of proportional, integral as well as derivative control action. So here are some terms related to the process control and the control actions. First term is continuous controller. So continuous controller is the controller that responds to the continuous input variables. Okay. Then discrete controllers. So discrete controllers are the controllers which respond to the discrete signal. Okay. So simply the controllers which are having input as continuous are called as continuous controllers, and the controller having discrete input signal are called as discrete controllers. Next definition is process equation. A process equation describes the mathematical relationship between the input and output variables. In other words, you can say the mathematical relationship between input variable and output variables is called as process equation. Next is process load. It refers to a set of parameters that influences or bring changes in the process excluding the controlled variable. Okay. Next is transient. So a temporary or a sudden change or the variation in one of the variable is called as transient. Okay, when the variable changes suddenly, it is called as transient. Next is process lag. A process control loop responds to ensure that some finite time later the variable returns to set point value. Part of this time is consumed by the process itself, and that time is called as process lag. Okay, so the time or the delay required for the process is called as process lag. Control lag. Control lag refers to the time for the process control loop to make necessary adjustment to the final control element. Dead time. Another time variable associated with process control is a function of both process control system and the process itself. This is the elapsed time between instant of deviation, that is nothing but error, and when the corrective action first occurs. Next is cycling. Oscillation of error about the zero value is called as cycling. This means the dynamic variable cycling above and below the set point. For cycling, we are interested in amplitude and period of oscillation. So cycling is nothing but the oscillations. Next is on-off controller. It is also called as two-position controller. So on-off controller is having discontinuous control action mode. This two-position controller is also called as bang-bang controller. As you can see in the diagram, it is having two values of P. Okay. So on the x-axis it is error, and on the y-axis it is controller output. So P of t, that is output, is equal to P max if error is greater than 0. You can see in the diagram, P max Pt is equal to P max if error E is greater than 0, and P of t is equal to P min if error is less than 0. So this is the ideal case of on-off controller. Since it is having only two states, that is on and off, it is also called as two position controller. Here P max is the on value and P min is the off value. The error is nothing but the difference between set point and the measured variable. Here the practical case of the on-off controller, that is two position controller, is shown. In this on-off controller, the graph is plotted between the controlled output on the y-axis and error signal on the x-axis. In practical implementation, two position controller, there is an overlap. The proportional level increases from 0 and decreased up to 0. In this span or area, there is no change in the controller output as shown in diagram. So as you can see, from minus delta to plus delta, there is no change in output, and this is also called as dead band or neutral zone. Then advantages of on-off controller are, it is simple to design, its cost is low, then there are only two steps, on and off. Then disadvantages of this are slow response, not suitable for the complex system. Applications, it is used in air conditioning system, in automatic electric iron, and it is also used in a refrigerator, as well as it is used in liquid level controller. On-off controller can also be designed as multi-position controller. The multi-mode controller or multi-position controller is a logical extension of on-off controller. It is used to provide several intermediate values rather than only two values setting of the controller output. This discontinuous control is used in an attempt to reduce the cycling behavior and overshoot and undershoot inherent in the on-off controller. So here you can see the three positions. Okay, first is E1, then E2 and E error. So P is equal to 100%. You can see controller output P is equal to 100% when EP is greater than E2. Then P is equal to 50% when EP is in between minus E1 and E2. That is, EP is greater than minus E1 and less than E2, and controller output P is equal to 0% when EP is less than minus E1.